Arlecchino Guide in Razor Language. Arlecchino might appear difficult to understand, but she really is more difficult to explain than actually play her. To put her in simple words, her skill marks enemies. These marks get upgraded after 5 seconds thanks to one of her passives, giving her more Bond of Life when absorbed by her charged attack or consumed by her burst. The normal marks give 65% Bond of Life each, while the upgraded ones give 130%. Enemies killed while they have marks on them will give 130% Bond of Life. The max Bond of Life she can get through these methods is 145%, and the count is reset after using the skill again. Keep in mind that the max bond obtainable in-game is 200%. So when you have half the bar, that's actually 100% bond. When using the charged attack, she absorbs these marks and gets Bond of Life, which gives her infusion when having more than 30% bond, and buffs her normal attacks based on her current bond while also consuming it. This means more bond equals stronger normal attacks. That's why her first hits are bigger than the last ones. Also, every time she consumes bond with her normal attacks, she decreases her skill cooldown by 0.8 seconds. Lastly, when using the burst, she absorbs nearby marks, if there are any, and consumes all the bond while healing herself based on 150% of her Bond of Life and 150% of her attack. This also reset her skill cooldown. As for the passives, we mentioned the first one while talking about the skill, so there is nothing more to say about that. The second passive gives her damage resistance based on her attack, up to 20%, which is at 3000 attack, and the third passive, while in combat, makes her unable to be healed by anything except her own burst, but also giving her 40% pyro damage bonus, which is almost a goblet by the way. Arlecchino has quite a variety of options in terms of weapons. Her signature is really strong and has the drip, but if you don't want to wish on the weapon banner, there are lots of other options. Jade Spear and Homa are both strong. There is also Staff of the Scarlet Sands, specifically for vape teams with EM Sands. Even Vortex Vanquisher is good if you're playing her with a shielder. And lastly, Calamity Queller is also usable. Both Battle Pass weapons are good, even though I would recommend Deathmatch over Fjords because of its versatility. Fjords is only good in vape teams with at least 3 different elements, otherwise the passive is useless. Dragon's Bane is also good in vape teams, and Blackcliff Pole from the Starglitter shop can work in AoE content, otherwise the passive is meh. Lithic Spear can be very competitive if you have it at high refinements and you're playing her in Liu teams, like Double Hydro Zhongli. Otherwise, don't bother. As for free-to-play options, there is Missive Wind Spear, an old event weapon that is really good in vape teams, but the real MVP here is White Tassel. This thing is crazy strong for being a 3-star weapon and gives Arlecchino everything she needs. It gives crit rate and normal attack damage, and almost the entirety of her damage comes from normal attacks, so that's really good. The only downside is the low base attack, but if you're playing her with Bennett, this is less of a problem. Her artifact set is the new Fragment of Harmonic Whimsy, but since it just came out, you probably don't have a full set yet. So in the meantime, you can use a full Gladiator set. It's a bit worse than Whimsy, but if you've been playing for a while you probably already have great pieces of it. 2 pieces of attack, Pyro, or normal attacks are fine. Main stats are Attack Sands, Pyro Goblet, and Crit Circlet. Attack Goblet can work too if you're not playing her with Bennett. Sub-stats are Crit Rate, Crit Damage, Attack, EM if played in vape, and energy. Her energy requirements can vary a bit, depending on the team. If you are playing a shielder, just don't bother bursting every rotation. Actually, not bursting will leave you with a 30% Bond of Life left for the second rotation. Starting with a higher bond means she will do more damage for a longer period of time. Now talking about her constellations, she has really broken early constellations. Her C1 increases her Mask of the Red Death buff by an additional 100% and gives her interruption resistance when using normal and charged attacks. The interruption resistance is a nice quality of life, but the 100% buff is a huge damage improvement. With C2, you no longer need to wait 5 seconds to get the enhanced mark, that gives you more Bond of Life, and when absorbing this mark, she will automatically unleash a burst that does 900% of her attack as AoE pyro damage, which is even more than her normal burst multiplier, which is 666% at talent level 10. Not only that, but she will also get 20% damage resistance for 15 seconds, and together with her passive talent giving another 20% if she has 3000 attack, she will now have 40% in total. This effect can trigger once every 10 seconds. Her C3 gives 3 levels on her normal attacks, which not only scales up her normal multipliers, but also her red death buff. These first 3 constellations are really huge, but they are just damage improvements that she honestly doesn't need, so don't feel like you have to get them. Moving on, her C4 can decrease her burst cooldown by 2 seconds and restore 15 energy for her when she absorbs marks from enemies. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. C5 gives 3 levels on her burst. And lastly, C6 will increase her burst damage by the amount of her attack multiplied by 700% of her current Bond of Life. And for 20 seconds after using her skill, her normal attacks and burst will have a bonus of 10% crit rate and 70% crit damage. This effect can trigger once every 15 seconds. Except for C6, which is probably one of the most broken C6 in the game, C4 and C5 are really forgettable. Talent priority is normal attacks, followed by burst and skill. Since her weekly materials are new, you can even go all in on normal attacks and care about skill and burst later. Now the most fancy part, her team comps. She has quite a variety of teams, with the strongest being Yellen, Kazuha, and Bennett. But for a way more comfortable comp, you can swap Kazuha with Zhongli. There are also Mono Pyro and Chevreuse Overload, both super great. She can go with double Hydro Zhongli or even double Hydro Beidou. I find this team funny, because thanks to all the damage reductions on this team, Arlecchino feels unkillable, and she can do both Vaporize and Overload, while every member is contributing to the team damage. It's not the best, but it's hilarious. Double Electro is also good if your Beidou needs the extra energy from Fischl. Double Geo with Yunjin is also okay. You can mix and match various supports shown here and find what works best for you. She really is flexible in terms of team composition. And that's it for this guide. Hope it was clear and made you better understand her kit and how to play her. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment and I'll try to answer. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.